Hello, this is Jamie83, and this is another episode of the Pierre Gasly career mode, which under Torro Rosso driving as GP2 champion Pierre Gasly, which is the Canadian Grand Prix today. And here we have Chris giving us some R&D information, which should just be an upgrade that I chose last time out in the Monaco Grand Prix. So let's have a look what that is. Chassis weight, engine cover. That's the second upgrade on that. And into laptop then, I don't think anyone else has upgraded. Mercedes actually upgraded one thing, but then onto track acclimatization for in the wet at Canada. We're just behind Johnny and Palmer onto the first lap, but I've got one green and one red, so I'm not sure it's going to be able to be purple on this quite short track. No DRS either to carry the score up a bit. So yeah, only green in that lap, but then I get dangerously close to Palmer on the inside. So that was a bit worrying, but now I've just got to get the purple score. But I've got once again a red on the same corner, I think that is. But managed to avoid any greens this time, so it should just about be purple. And yeah, it's just I've levelled the purple score actually exactly, so that's very precise. And managed to get the 50 resource points for that. Now into qualifying sim, and it's dry in practice 2 now. I clout the first curb quite a lot, which is not ideal, but I didn't lose too much time. And that is going to be a green score. I don't bother going for a purple score because I feel like that's the most I can get out of the car. Once again binned off the tyre wear test, and then that gives us 188 resource points. And then we get a new rival, so let's look who this is.
Hey, looks like you've got a bit of rivalry going on out there. This is good. Gets people talking about you. Just make sure you outperform them, okay?
So it's Carlos Sainz once again, as it was at the start of the season. So let's get into qualifying, and it is raining for the qualifying, but on the weather forecast it says it's going to be slightly drier by the end. So as you can see, I'm zooming a lot of time here now, looking at the track on Raikkonen's car, and it looks pretty bone dry. So I'm going out on super soft tyres at the end of the session. Hopefully this can catapult me up the grid. And third place after the first run, and now onto the second run. We've got a little bit of slipstream from the car ahead. Not everyone has been out on the dry tyres. Magnussen's up in 4th at the minute. I'm in 3rd. Oh sorry, 4th and 5th for us too. I correct myself. And we're about 7 tenths up. Where's this going to put me? And it is 5th place, I believe, for the Canadian Grand Prix, which is very promising. Rosberg on pole ahead of Ricciardo and Bottas, and then Massa. So Williams getting a strong result. Sainz in 10th, but with 10 place grid penalty for some reason. Hamilton doesn't get a run, neither does Verstappen and Vettel, so they're starting low down the grid, as is Raikkonen. So it'll be an interesting race.
As I look out of my commentary box window, a very large and very excited crowd here today, eagerly anticipating another memorable race. Lewis Hamilton took his maiden win on this circuit in 2007. Jenson Button came from last place to win here in 2011. And there's certainly no shortage of drama on offer here at the Canadian Grand Prix.
So, race strategy, and I started on the super softs because that's the qualifying tyre I did, after just to keep my options open a bit. P5 on the grid behind the 2 Williams. Here we go, 5 red lights for the Canadian Grand Prix. And lights out and away we go, and it's a very good start from Massa straight away, so that I put it up to Rich Mix with a very light car, go up the inside, make it 3 wide with Ricciardo and Massa up the inside of turn 1, and then manage to get the pair of them. They go around the outside of Valtteri Bottas into turn 2, and that is going to, if I can get the traction, it'll be a very nice move this. Keep it on the outside, he can't cut across me too much. I let it brake later, go right around the outside of turn 3, and that is a lovely move. But then Bottas ends up driving into a wall, which I wouldn't recommend, but now he's out of the race unfortunately. I'm in 2nd, behind Rosberg only. The virtual safety car is now out, so I'm going to slow down the pace a lot. We got a bit of a gap to Ricciardo, so we're just behind Rosberg after the first sector of the race. Now on the same lap 1, the safety car is ending, so I managed to get the run on Rosberg because he was caught napping at the end of the safety car there. We've had the slipstream on him. We don't go for a dive bomb into the final corner because that would be pretty foolish. But we get the better exit, and Rich Mix should help, and slipstream on the Mercedes go around the outside for turn 1. And Rosberg sets fastest lap obviously, but then brake later, well Rosberg brakes later I should say, so we don't manage to get a position there. But if I keep applying the pressure, it's only a matter of time really before I manage to get past. So yeah, into turn 3 now, braking early, slight corner cut, but ignore that. And then Rosberg looks like he's going to stay ahead for the time being. Massa in 3rd after a very good start from him. And then purple first sector obviously because it's only a 2nd lap. I'm quite underfueled, so I need to save all that fuel at some point. Jenson Button's out the race now, and cutting out onto the end of lap 3 with the DRS enabled, getting the slipstream and Rosberg, and it's going to be quite a lunge, but we're alongside into the braking zone thanks to the DRS. Brake later than him, get the turn in, and that is 1st place currently on lap 3 ahead of Rosberg. So that is a promising position to be in. Rosberg's got the run a bit, but I just cover the line so he can't go for a lunge or anything. And Ricciardo's as fast as I'm actually in 3rd place. But hopefully I can do just as well as this. But here's a replay of the start. And it's a very good launch from Massa. I get a pretty terrible start initially, but then with the light car, as we've seen all season, I managed to make it work out. So 3 wide into turn 1, Massa gets squeezed out by me and Ricciardo. And then I managed to find the grip around the outside of Bottas, get my car alongside, my nose is alongside his rear tyre. And then he has to brake early because he's on the inside. I brake late, go right around the outside. There's no contact between the pair of us, and he just drives into the barrier. So I'm not entirely sure it was my fault, which causes quite a lot of damage behind with Massa and Ricciardo. I think both got wing damage. But it's an amazing launch from Valtteri Bottas. He almost took the lead actually into turn 1. He immediately got past Ricciardo. Rosberg holds the lead into turn 1, and then Bottas has to defend from me into turn 3 because I'm just on the outside there and Torro Rosso in the mirror. And yeah, he can't cut me across because I'm still there, and I get right around the outside. There's no contact, but he just drives into the barrier. Maybe he just lost traction or so. I'm not sure why. And then here it is with Jenson Button. He's alongside Romain Grosjean. And it looks like a similar sort of incident is going to happen. So Grosjean goes around the outside Button, and then Button just turned into the wall again. There's no contact. So it's just a broken thing with the AI, I think, that if they go side by side for around turn 3 at Canada, they just go straight into a wall. But as I'm saying, there's Rosberg has gone around my outside into the final chicane, which is quite surprising because AI don't normally do that strong moves. I'm on his inside now for turn 1 though, and he locks up horribly. Hamilton's now close in right behind us, even though he qualified about 12th. So that's not very good for my position. Certainly, Rosberg might be a bit more safe from him after the Mercedes team orders and all that. But cut the turn 3 once again, but no warning. And then Hamilton is right behind me now until lap 9, after I've dropped quite far back from Rosberg. Verstappen's right behind as well, and he started outside the top 10. So it looks like all these guys who started outside are going to have the strategy advantage. I tapped the Wall of Champions slightly as Hamilton drives past, and now on lap 11 Verstappen's got up as well. My super soft tyres are giving up the ghost a little bit, so all these cars on the fresher or the more durable tyres just closing in quite a lot. And there goes Verstappen. Before the DRS is even enabled, he manages to get me on the traction, just showing how good the Red Bull really is compared to its sister team. As Rosberg comes into the pits from the lead, so I'll gain another position up to 3rd for the time being, but obviously he's still going to be ahead of me. I think it was Hamilton actually. But now on to lap 14, I'm going to pit, but Verstappen is now in the lead. So I'm going to do my one and only stop for soft tyres on lap 14. So Rosberg is only 5 seconds behind me, even though he's made a pit stop, which just shows the pace of the Mercedes when I'm not getting much slipstream. It's ridiculous. So we've got a long way to go before we can challenge for the title with Torro Rosso, definitely. But we might be looking to get the move up to Red Bull at some point. Our Verline is in 7th, having not stopped yet. And after his very strong result in Monaco, I think he got 7th there as well. He's looking for another one, but he's up to 6th for the time being. It looks like I should be able to get out ahead of him though, and I do. So yeah, lap 15, and then unfortunately nothing happened at all until lap 27 when Ricciardo's pitted late for ultra soft tyres. So yeah, nothing really happened. So it was a bit of another boring one like we had in Spain. But now Ricciardo's got the DRS, he's got the ultra soft tyres, and it looks like he's going to be able to overtake me quite easily. So I'm down to 5th behind the 2 Mercedes and the 2 Red Bulls. And Vettel is now quite a long way back down the road. I clout the second curb there very violently, but now Vettel has caught up to me on lap 30, the very next lap. And on his super soft tyres, he's going to drive past me as well. So down to 6th place. Raikkonen's a long way back. I think that's 19 seconds back from me, so I should have the 6th place locked down at least. But now, so Vettel is driving past, but now on to lap 33, and that's Rosberg in the pits, as is Hamilton. I think we've got some team radio actually.
I've lost this race, haven't I?
And yeah, that's Hamilton showing his frustration at the Mercedes because they have just cost him this race completely, because both the Mercedes cars pitted on the penultimate lap, or the lap before the penultimate lap I should say, for ultra soft tyres. So they have cost themselves a 1-2 here. And as Verstappen has now won the race, the Mercedes were ultra quick on these ultra soft tyres, and Rosberg has managed to close the gap. So he looks like he's going to challenge me for 5th, but Verstappen's won from Ricciardo. Hamilton managed to get Vettel as well, but now Rosberg's going down the outside into the last corner. I fight as much as I can. There's a lot of contact there. Rosberg forces his way through and relegates me down to 6th again, so it's not bad, but Mercedes bottled their strategy completely, and that's going to be 6th place.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
So here come our winning drivers today, and what a a race it was. There's been a big push at the factory lately to get these cars ready, and we can see the fruits of that labour today as Red Bull lift the winner's trophy.
So 6th place then for Pierre Gasly in the Canadian Grand Prix. Not a terrible result, it's not the points finish, and that's all I can really ask. So Verstappen wins from a Red Bull 1-2 at Ricciardo, and then then Hamilton I should say, then Vettel and Rosberg. Verline did end up getting a point there in 9th or 10th, I couldn't see. We retained 7th in the championship ahead of Kimi Raikkonen still, and Carlos Sainz, who didn't score today. So Hamilton takes the lead, or retains the lead I should say. Rosberg still behind Vettel. Verline is now above Grosjean and Gutierrez, so he's doing an astounding job in that manner. And into the constructors, Man are only 1 point behind Haas, thanks to Verline. We're up above Williams now, after Bottas crashed out. I think Massa finished low down in the points. So then onto resource points, and get 100 there, 376 I should say. Sainz manages to pull the rivalry quite a lot, thanks to the fastest laps. I retained the team, but then look at this, we're getting a promotion it looks like.
And we all agree, the only thing better than a number 2 driver is a number 1 driver. Here are the details.
And that is quite good. Thanks to my good performances this season, it's going to be a number 1 driver role now, ahead of Carlos Sainz. So that is going to be the end of this video. I've been J183. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been the Pierre Gasly career mode, and I will see you next time.